I can't really remember well how I came to assume the role that I had, the role that is now taken away from me, as my memory really isn't the best. But here is my story, the story of this lonely creature of the night. For as long as my memory would let me remember, I've been roaming around on my own in the dead of the night, just pointlessly moving from shadow to shadow, avoiding loud noises and humans. I avoid loud noises because I hate them, and I avoid humans because they hate me. How do I know that when I've never interacted with one? I don't know. Perhaps a long, long time ago, in a different time and form, I had. But that is not something that I'm able to recall anymore. For the longest time, my existence seemed to be void of meaning, always alone and scared, living without any purpose in my reality. Until I met these children, you humans call them. Such precious and pure little creatures, and so soft, too. One day, late at night, I saw these little humans, two to be more precise, wandering around the park all alone. I never found out what they were doing, and I can't seem to remember the emotions they had on their faces while walking hand in hand in their lonesome, under the dim, quivering lampposts of the park. But I just remember feeling this sense of, what do you humans call it? Protectiveness? That night, at that moment, and at that place, I was the only one present. I knew I couldn't just let them go off on their own. I was the only one who could watch over those weak little humans. And so I did. All the way to their home, all the way to the warm, tight embrace of their parents, and all the way to their cozy beds. I made sure not to get myself seen. All this time, wandering the streets, avoiding all human sight, has taught me how to be patient and how to find the right timing. From their window to their closet, I moved swiftly and silently. Later into the night, when they were sound asleep, I would move from their closet to beneath their bed, and I'd listen to their breathing while feeling their little heartbeats traveling through the bed frame. It made me feel this foreign but somehow nostalgic sense of relief, knowing that these children were safe. It made me feel as though they were sharing their heat with me. After that first night, I had found my purpose. Every night, I would slip into their room right before they went to bed. Then I would watch them through a crack in their closet till the covers rose up and down in a steady rhythm to get under their bed. It was pleasant. Every night went by peacefully, for the most part. One night, some men dressed in night colors came into the house uninvited. At first, I almost believed they might have been similar creatures to me, but I was wrong. The parents weren't home. The children were sound asleep. I heard the unfamiliar sound of rummaging downstairs. I nervously listened inside the closet. Sure enough, the two children got woken up. The taller one shushed and held the smaller one in their bed. They were afraid. Something swelled up inside me. Footsteps traveling up the stairs could be heard. The children were shaking. I didn't know what to do. The door swung open. Two men with dark clothes stormed inside. They saw the children defenselessly sitting up in their bed. I rushed out of the closet, startling the children and the men. They all looked at me with fear in their eyes. I stood, putting myself between the men and the children. The men stared at me blankly for a second while I waited for their move, as I really didn't know what to do. To my relief, they immediately turned around to run away while signaling the others to leave. For once, I was glad that I was so hated by humans. I stayed still, waiting for all possible signs of those men still being inside the house to disappear. I figured I couldn't be with the children anymore. They were so afraid of me. And they probably hated me just as much as those larger humans did. I turned back to look at them for what I thought was the last time, and forced out with a voice that I no longer recognized. Good night. But right before I left, the smaller one grabbed my skin in the back and asked for my name. Surprised, I carefully turned around and shook my head. A name. I don't think I've ever had one prior, and even if I did, there was no use for it anymore. The smaller one loosened its grip, and I took the opportunity to get away. I couldn't recall the last time I had this much interaction with any human. After the incident, I stopped visiting the children for a while. During those times, I felt hollow, like I had lost something that was important, a feeling that I had almost forgotten. I missed their endless babbling on all those nights foreign to me. I missed their breathing that slowed down to a soothing cadence and the warmth that I felt when I laid close to them. And I kept thinking about, what if more unknown humans were to get those children during the night? What if I was not there that night and the children would have gotten hurt? I was the one that saved them. I can't leave them. When I went back, the children found me inside their closet. The smaller one pulled me out with a force I didn't expect something of its size would have, and looked at me with big eyes and an open mouth, while the taller one just watched. They talked and talked. The smaller one in particular asked me all kinds of questions I couldn't answer. I don't know what was happening to me. Something about those children made me feel things I didn't know how to describe. They calmed down with the questions and, seeing as I didn't talk, settled down. The smaller one told me that it was okay and that I didn't have to be so scared. I wasn't scared, on the contrary. I was feeling something else. I slowly reached out to stroke the younger one's cheek. The younger one just smiled and didn't move away. It was unbelievably soft, and it was warm in a way that only existed with the children. Something stirred inside me. The older one abruptly pulled the younger one away. I was surprised. I wanted to feel their flesh some more. I looked at the older one. It pulled them to their bed and said that the parents would be home soon, and told me to hide in the closet again. For the next few nights, the children would bring me out of the closet. They would talk to me, show me things I didn't know, and play with me. They tried to make me talk, but I could rarely ever manage to find the right words to say. Their parents always came home late, so that gave me more time to spend with the children. Even the taller one seemed to have become more comfortable around me, talked to me more, and even let the smaller one climb on me while we were playing. Then, when bedtime came, I would go back to watching over them under the shadows cast by the moon. For those nights, I can truthfully say that I was happy. I was so filled with all these vaguely familiar, forgotten feelings that I got careless. I no longer felt the need to constantly stay hidden anymore. For the first time in what seemed like forever, I wasn't alone, and I wasn't feared nor hated. But I wasn't ready for what came of me. When the parents walked into the room and saw me at the foot of their children's bed, as I was naively waiting for the children to come. The one with longer hair and nails screamed and screeched at me. The stronger, heavier one stormed into the room. He hit and grabbed me with so much strength. He almost tore my skin off, if not for the children storming in and begging their father to stop. The mother wrapped my little humans in a warm, tight embrace, shushed and squeezed them while they tried to explain. Over their mother's shoulders, red and blue lights flashed on the children's faces while they looked at me with confusion and sadness in their eyes. Even with my bad memory, those eyes are something I can't seem to forget. They have caught me and thrown me in a small room. They've torn off my skin and hidden it away. Even the string I had tied around my neck to keep my skin from moving was taken from me. They give me food that I can't stomach, and try to drown me every so often. Here I am, trapped and unable to leave, unable to watch over my little humans. I don't know where I am. I don't know where they are. All I know is that I miss them. I miss having a purpose. I miss the warmth. I miss children. There are other creatures trapped here. Some are similar to me, some are different, some are nice, and some are evil. One was very nice to me. It was the only one that talked to me in a way similar to the children. Though it couldn't take away this cold emptiness inside me the same way they did, it gave me some kind of comfort, as well as this number, 819. This magical number on this tiny piece of paper that is my only hope left in here. I really hope they'll let me keep it, as I can no longer count on my memory. Will you help me? Will you please help me? From time to time, they bring me to this autumn-colored room with a human that tries to make me talk, but different from the children. Though their voice was soft, they were void of any warmth, and the other humans just look at us with blatant disdain in their eyes. I don't think I've ever been this afraid of humans before. I am starting to question if some of them are just like us. Perhaps some are just better at disguises than others. My thoughts keep going back to the warmth and the intoxicating happiness in the nights I spent with the children. They've tried to put new skin on me, but they stunk of harsh chemicals and suffocate me. Without my own skin, I am weak, cold, and afraid. I can feel myself slowly withering. I've been hurting, and my memory has been acting up. Please tell those humans I mean no harm. I know they hate me, but I know they don't hate you. Please help me out of here. I promise I'll be good. I promise I won't let myself be seen. I promise I'll only stay in the closet. So please, help me get out of this place. And I'll watch over your children at night.